Delia Van Prague, and this is Nothing Ventured. Today we have Zaharayah on the show, or Z. How are you, Z?
Hey, I'm doing good. It's a hot day outside.
Yes, it is hot, but it's nice, but it is hot. So, what are your diagnoses?
I'm diagnosed with PTSD, CPTSD, ADHD, bipolar 1, and I might be forgetting one, but those are the main ones right now.
Gotcha. Which would you say is the hardest to deal with?
Right now, I would say bipolar is the hardest to deal with because it kind of messes with your functioning and it kind of makes me feel like a little toddler at times when it comes to taking care of myself.
Totally. I can completely relate to this. One of my side effects of medication I take is drooling. So I find myself drooling, or my mom was like wiping my face, drooling, and sometimes I won't shower for a long period of time, and I have to be reminded, and just like functions of daily living.
Yeah.
I do feel like a little kid sometimes.
Yeah, I was also on medication last year. I've been like experimenting with different medications and I was on Abilify. It made me drool too. I had lost like arm function. Well, not lost functioning in my arm, but my arms would be very stiff. So it's just very hard, especially figuring out which medication is best for you and dealing with the side effects.
Absolutely. They always joke that the drooling is just the sexiest of the side effects. Do you take any medications now?
Yeah, now I take lithium. That's the oldest solution to bipolar 1 disorder. But I just started a new one called Vraylar. That got me out of the low period of bipolar. So my doctors are basically not experimenting, but figuring out what is best for me.
That's good. I don't want to brag, but I take a lot of medication. I won't do the list, but it's a lot. And I'm scared to remove any of them because then the symptoms will come back. Because I'm bipolar too, but I take lithium as part of the cocktail. And it really has changed my life. Like when I got sick when I was in college, I got on lithium and it literally just evened me out. I think they say like lithium is like the gold standard for bipolar medication.
Yeah, I heard that too.
So, how did you hear about Venture House?
I was in the hospital after my first episode of bipolar, and I had PHP after. I forgot what it stands for.
Partial hospitalization?
Yes, partial hospitalization program.
Yeah.
I was there for like 6 weeks. During the 6 weeks, they brought somebody in from Venture House. I believe it was Jesse actually who came in there. And
we love Jesse.
Yeah. And Jesse did a presentation. I just thought it sounded really cool that it was a community where the members take charge. You know, you have staff, but they really sold me on that there's different areas that you could go to, especially like when I heard about media and knowing that I'm really into art and in all forms.
Yeah, that is awesome. We're happy you're here.
Thank you.
You're welcome. What's something you think that makes you unique?
I think what makes me unique is my attitude. I've been through a lot, and even in my lowest times, I have hope. And I feel like that's something that we all need to have.
Yes. And that is inspiring because sometimes it just seems so dismal, things seem so dark and scary.
Yeah.
But to have hope even in the face of fear or what have you is such a gift
Yeah.
to yourself and to other people.
I used to love as a kid like stories, fairy tales, and things. I would imagine myself as like the princess who's like I loved Shrek. Like her getting away from the prince or things like that that give me hope. And I also liked to write stories as well.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So this question is kind of hard, so take your time in answering it. I want to ask, like, what is your story? And that can include high highs, low lows, hospitalizations, family stuff.
It's a long story. Basically, I grew up in a very religious house, and the religion I grew up in is not common at all. When people ask, they would kind of scrunch their face like, what is that? And we had a lot of customs growing up that I believed in. And things changed when I got to elementary school because that's when you're away from your parents and you kind of get to do your own thing.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the first things I noticed was that other people around me wore pants.
Mm.
And I was really confused because me and everyone I've grown up around wore skirts. So it wasn't the last straw for me, obviously. I was still a kid. But that is one of the things that proved that I was different from everyone else. And the older I got, the more different I noticed that my story was from other people. Basically, I grew up in an abusive house. The only thing that made it better for me was art and friends. Fast forward to high school and college, I basically couldn't take the abuse anymore, so I started doing my own thing as much as I could because I wasn't allowed to have friends. So I would sneak off to see these friends. I guess typical teenagers, they would go off, do drugs, party.
Mm.
I was sneaking off to make a bank account.
Right,
I was,
so different priorities.
yeah, sneaking off to go walk dogs. And I made a lot of friends on the way. One day I really had, that was really my last straw. I decided that I would run away. And I ran away to a friend's house. When I did run away, I finally knew how psychotic I don't want to use that word.
Okay, use another word.
The only word I can describe is like evil.
Okay.
How evil my father was. He basically would not let me go. That's when I realized how important it was to them to speak down on me. Me leaving meant that they didn't have anyone to speak down on. So that was the start of my mental health journey because I already knew I had ADHD. The teachers knew it, my parents knew it, but they denied it. That was the start of my depression. And I ended up being suicidal because I had decided to go back. I ended up being in the hospital, which was like the best thing that happened to me, sadly. But also it was the best thing to happen to me because I realized that what I was going through was not normal and that there are ways to help your mental illness and that it's not, it's not bad. Medication is not bad. I stayed for 2 more years and I went to college and I was doing my best in college. I was a psychology major. I wanted to also do childhood psychology. I ended up dropping out of college because COVID hit.
Mm.
And after COVID hit, I decided that me and 11 other people in one house also being abusive, it was not worth graduating college. It wasn't worth 2 more years of it.
Mm-mm.
So I left and I stayed with a friend for 2 more years. I had on and off jobs, but they were all childcare. I tried my hardest to break away from not really my family, but more so my parents. My siblings just ended up being caught in the crossfire. I don't talk to any of them. I wish that I did, but they are all still in the same religion because they don't know any better. Yeah, it was not worth it to stay there. And I figured afterwards why. They were sabotaging me like in every aspect. I would try to go to school, sabotaged. I would try to do my taxes. I'm a dependent. They had my medical card, which they accused me of stealing from them, which I didn't, even though it wouldn't be stealing. So I couldn't see a doctor until I begged them to print out my medical card, and they did that, even though they could get in serious trouble. I still continued. I got a job at a daycare. I got a job at another daycare because I didn't like the first. I was just stuck in this loop of not liking the environment that I'm in, so I have to just leave. It happened a couple more times until I found a new job called a paraprofessional. In that job, you're helping children with disabilities, which mainly autism and ADHD. And that just reminded me of me when I was a kid. My parents didn't acknowledge that I had ADHD, but I was failing in school, have 55s. You know, the teacher saying, oh my gosh, she can't focus. Them being more concerned for me than my parents were at the time. Honestly, when it came to leaving my parents, I couldn't do it without friends. Then I met my boyfriend who helped me, and he moved me in with him like 2 months into us meeting, which is really an early, really early, but we're still together 3 years later. So I would just say, like, that was a risk that he took, and I literally could not be who I am today without friends, relationship, families who helped me out. But I ended up getting a job at the DOE. This is in 2024. I was doing really well with my career, but I really needed to get medicated for ADHD, so I finally went to a doctor and pleaded my case, and they heard me, and they gave me medications, and I was doing pretty well. I was doing really well, actually. They were telling me how well I was doing and how the child that I was with was flourishing and all that. But what changed everything was my bipolar diagnosis. That diagnosis, I just completely changed, like I said, about like feeling like a toddler. I just completely changed as a person. I couldn't make it to work on time first, and then I couldn't focus on the times, like the times that the children would leave to go to lunch, to go to class. I just couldn't focus, and they would have to remind me. And then it was talking. It was the talking a lot. And then it was not really showering as much as I should, or not remembering the steps to how to shower. And then it was not eating in the morning, not eating in the afternoon, and then at night making food but not eating it. After that, and after like having some delusions, I ended up going to the ER. They told me that I had bipolar with psychosis, so I had to be hospitalized afterwards. And it felt like I was just getting things started. I have a lot of hope right now, but this was a year ago. Yeah, I had a lot of hope. I mean, I still have a lot of hope, but it was just different. I had my career life path. I'm just glad that I've been figuring it all out now and getting these diagnoses, and that I found Venture House to help me like with my recovery and all that.
Yeah. So not an easy.
Mm-mm.
Nothing sounds easy in your story. It seems like you had to fight.
Yes, fight. I had to fight, and you can't lose hope in that. You just can't.
Right. Yes, and hope. Hope is what stands out too. And just putting yourself out there and doing things that are scary and saying to go against your parents is very scary.
Yeah.
But you did it. And you're better off for it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Venture House is a great part of recovery. To meet new people, do new things. Like this podcast was just an idea, but I'd never done anything like this before. Sorry, I'm getting a little sidetracked.
No, it's okay. You're doing great with the podcast.
Thank you. What brings you joy?
What brings me joy? I would say the little things in life. I like butterflies. I like sunny days. I like hot cocoa.
Nice.
I like to play soccer. Well, I'm not a soccer player, but I just played soccer yesterday and it woke my inner child up.
That's the best.
Yeah, I like the little things in life.
Very good. And what is your favorite thing about Venture House?
My favorite thing at Venture House, honestly, is the social aspect of it. There's always someone to talk to. There's always something to do. There's always a community here. And Venture House actually helped me to find housing.
Oh, wow.
After all of that, living with other people and bouncing from house to house, I think I lived in like 9 different places within a year. We do activities with housing. I do activities with Venture House. I do the paint and pizza night with the young adult housing program too. I went to a conference this year. I forgot where it was, but it was called Villa Roma. And it was a mental health conference. We had a great time. There was also karaoke. I performed a song that I would have been embarrassed anywhere else, but I thought, yeah, I'm in Villa Roma, so I'm just gonna perform this song.
You remember the song?
Yeah, it's called Stutter Carefully. It's a rap.
Oh, okay, cool.
I just used to write raps when I was a kid. I used to do a lot of stuff. Like, I used to write raps, write books, do art, draw, sketch, paint, everything. So I've been exploring that more in Venture House, my artistic side. Yeah.
I think I'll end on this question. What is something you love about yourself?
Something that I love about myself is
Maybe more than one thing, too.
I'd say is my creativity and my friendliness and my resilience.
Resilience. Yeah, I think that's the perfect word.
Thank you.
Alright, well, we're gonna wrap things up. Zaharayah, do you think we touched on everything, or is there something else you'd like to add?
Yes, I do want to add that I don't want to overshadow the aspect of my life, which is PTSD. I know you asked which was the worst for me. I think I changed my answer to PTSD because it's a catalyst for bipolar as well as for ADHD, because the mind, where your mind wanders, it can be a dark place too.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just wanted to change that answer.
No, I think that's a great correction. I'm glad you did.
Thanks.
Alright, well, this is Nothing Ventured. This is Z. I'm Delia from Prague. Have a mentally healthy day.